I have to ask if you're at all curious about Michael Mann's Heat prequel novel and the possibility of it becoming a film.
So, just getting away from things or what?
Well, I'm meeting someone here. Howdy. You know me?
I don't know. You know me?
Man, what an incredible role this is for you. I loved how stripped down this story is. It's just a movie about connection, loneliness, and getting back in touch with your younger self. Obviously, those are some really meaty themes that offer a lot to chew on. Was there a particular aspect of this story or your character that you found yourself most drawn to?
I sort of jokingly say that I love the idea of playing a guitar, singing a song, and kissing a girl. But I think one of my more favorite scenes throughout the whole thing is when Lito asks Faye if he can take her picture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she initially refuses. No, I don't do that. No, stop it. And all of that. But she finally gives in, and he takes the picture.
Yeah.
But she knows. But somehow it's because he can give her a little direction. Look this way, and then turn slowly that way, and then blink. And then she doesn't really want to see it. So. Yeah. It kind of rings. That's a theme that runs throughout the film, in that a story of the amount of denial that we can use in terms of having sort of walls built around ourselves.
Right. I think why it spoke so much to me is because pretty much exactly what you're saying. Like, it says a lot without having to say too much. There's a lot that can just be observed about it, and it doesn't draw a lot of attention towards itself. Like, so much can be mined from the expressions of the characters. For instance, I love the look that Lito has when he looks at Faye's camper when he's in the car. There's that fear there, and I don't know too much about his relationship with his late wife, but I know enough to feel that it's real. Do you prefer the creativity that comes from a scene without much dialogue, but a lot can be felt in it? Or do you favor getting the opportunity to speak well-written words into existence?
I think earlier in my career, I really depended on words to convey whatever. But as time goes on, I've learned that silence can be quite the communicator as well. And that gives an actor the opportunity to actually feel the emotions, to draw out the emotions from themselves, and see, does it show on their face or in their body language or whatever? Does it somehow reveal itself without the use of dialogue?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it's kind of like what the miming and that kind of thing. How do you get an idea across without speaking?
Sure. Speaking of that stillness, I really like the scenes where Lito and Faye reminisce about their growing up together. Does a work like this cause you to get more in touch with your younger self, or did you already have a healthy relationship with your younger self?
What I really started glomming onto through that, in reference to that, is the idea of growth since youth, and then all the travails, all of the rough parts of life, how they can over time cause a person to build defenses around themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, I see this film as a fairly elongated vision of two people sort of gnawing away at these defenses that they put up throughout their lives, and become more real with their own emotions and their own feelings, and accept what is actually there. Yeah, it's I think a tearing away of defenses that is it's a process.
Sure.
And it can be a painful process, but in our story, it's almost comical because of the awkwardness that it produces between the two.
Right. If I may ask, what was a young Wes Studi like? What were your ambitions at the time?
What I remember mostly from early youth is all I really wanted was a car, a place to live, and a phone. And then to get on with life. I think life, in the way I see it, is a huge experiment in terms of how well can I do it, how fast can I do it, how enjoyable can I make it, how useful can I be in life. That's what it's about for me.
So when did the arts start to plant their seeds, and when did you start to really take to it?
When I realized that I enjoyed playing parts, I enjoyed the work of an actor in terms of learning a story, of learning lines, of being able to overcome stage fear or stage fright, or being able to speak in front of people. It actually helped me in terms of being more comfortable in a speaking role where I'm actually just talking to people, because, well, that's essentially what you do in a play. But then I got to the point where I finally share my ideas with people on a larger scale than one-on-one or something. What I'm talking about is giving talks and that kind of thing. But that was an outcome that I didn't anticipate, but I just enjoyed the act of acting. I really don't have words for it, but I don't remember exactly when it was, but I think it was at a time when I discovered the sweet spot. Do you know what the sweet spot is in terms of sports and right, or music or whatever? Finding the sweet spot and working with a number of people that depend on you and you depend on them, and that's what makes the whole thing work, is when everything is in sync. And it's a beautiful thing, if it's music or if it's sports or whatever. And when you find that groove and it begins to work and you're a part of it, you can rejoice when it's finished. That's what drew me to the whole thing, is just that feeling of accomplishment.
Sure. Yeah. I have so many more questions I'd like to ask you about the film, but I'll cut you loose on this. I have to ask if you're at all curious about Michael Mann's Heat prequel novel and the possibility of it becoming a film.
Is it prequel?
That's what I hear. It's supposed to take place 7 or so years before 1995, so like 88.
Well, I would watch it. I certainly would watch it, yeah.
Gosh.